я повторяю. Добро пожаловать на мой канал. Привет. Включить субтитры. Пожалуйста, еще раз я скажу включить субтитры. Hello, welcome to the channel. Please turn on the subtitles. I made this video for Russians, especially who are learning English or already actually. To be fair, this video is more for Russians who speak already very good English and are looking to advance their English skills, language skills, by studying topics that are more advanced, obviously science and technology in English, medicine in English, men's health in English, right? So we have, for example, today, Men's Health magazine. It's going to have various science topics, health topics. So it's definitely advanced English for a Russian who's already kind of speaks English, and it would help improve their English. So that's the purpose today of the video. Also, of course, I love the Men's Health magazine. I recommend everyone read it, regardless of what language you speak. So please turn on subtitles. I'm going to go through the magazine and we're going to read some definitely interesting articles, advanced English topics. And еще раз я скажу включить субтитры, пожалуйста, и давай начнем. So, first I want to say that obviously Men's Health is a great magazine. But one thing I would say that I think they should start doing differently, it's just like it's a recommendation. I think that they shouldn't cover, see how it says Men's Health, right? But it covers the H. And, I think it's a great photo. I think the magazine cover is great. I just think that if they want to make it better as some constructive criticism, I really don't think they should cover the logo ever. And that's the same for every magazine. I don't think, because sometimes I've seen Scientific American magazines where the logo, Scientific American, was slightly covered. I don't think they should do that. It's just, I know obviously if someone already reads Men's Health magazine, they know what it says, Men's Health. But I always like to think about everyone. Imagine people who've never even seen the magazine before from other countries, right? And suddenly half of the logo, part of the logo is being covered, right? So I think when you're making a magazine, you should think about everyone. Don't just assume that people already know what your magazine is, right? Because you never know. There could be someone coming from another country who's never read a Men's Health magazine, never seen a Men's Health magazine. And especially if that person's learning English and suddenly part of the logo is covered, right? So I think a magazine company should think about everyone, really. That being said, I still love this magazine. It's a great magazine. And I just want to say, I don't, that's just my opinion. And it's constructive criticism. And I think they should start not covering the logo anymore. Men's Health, for example, covers the H, unfortunately. But so let's start. So this is an advertisement. Already we see an advertisement, something about UPS, Ground Advantage. And by the way, I just wanted to say another thing too. So I had an interesting idea, and it's all about eugenics. Eugenics. It's all about eugenics. And basically the idea is this, right? It's like, maybe I'll go back to the front cover. The question is we can link eugenics to start Men's Health magazines, and maybe Men's Health can do a special edition. I don't know. I haven't read every single Men's Health magazine, unfortunately. I wish, but so maybe our Men's Health already did a whole special edition on eugenics. But I think that would be really interesting because eugenics is kind of it could help society, but it could also not be good for society, eugenics. And I think it's an interesting science fiction concept, although it's not really science fiction anymore because apparently people have started to do eugenics in their countries, right? And they're creating super soldiers. So I just think it would be a really interesting topic for Men's Health magazine to do a whole feature spread on eugenics and the potential benefits and of course the downsides. I think it sounds scary, and I think it sounds like there's probably more downsides than benefits, but I'm an open-minded person, and I think it's important to have an open mind when discussing science and technology. And I would like to see Men's Health do a whole magazine on, like a whole special article on eugenics. So, I mean, this guy already looks like he could have been created as a super soldier. He kind of looks kind of like a super soldier a bit, you know? I like the tattoos as well. Is that a cross? Can't tell if that's a cross, but anyways. This is an example of a person who maybe could have been created via eugenics. An example. Obviously, he wasn't. At least, I mean, I don't know for sure. I mean, maybe, I mean, they've been doing eugenics probably now for years, right? So if they started eugenics like 50 years ago, yeah, it's very possible, but I'm not saying I don't know for sure. It's so nice to just flip through magazines. It's really fun. And it makes great YouTube content. So I want to recommend to YouTube creators, if there's any YouTube creators out there that not sure what they should do for content and want maybe ideas for content, definitely taking Men's Health magazines, Scientific American magazines, and making YouTube videos and showing off the magazines. It's a good idea. I think more YouTubers should do it. It's very fun to flip through magazines. And you also learn, you know, it's entertaining and you also learn. So it's a mix of both. It's entertaining and you learn. And it's not like some boring science video. It's actually entertaining to flip through magazines, especially science magazines. Let me remove that. Although, hey, if you wanna, oh, American Scientist. This is an offer actually not for Men's Health. It's for American Scientist magazine. Anyways, but yeah, so NFL. I love American football for many reasons. But I love American football. I love watching American football. And I'm really looking forward to watching next year's American football Super Bowl event. I heard actually that they're planning on doing like triple the fireworks that they normally do at next year's American football Super Bowl event. So that should be interesting. They're going to like go really intense. They're going to do a lot of more fireworks than they normally do. And what's great about these magazines is you don't have to be a scientist to understand them. A lot of times they're very well written articles and they're also written in layman's terms so that the average person can understand them, which is great. Average, because I'm an average person. I'm not a Nobel Prize winner. I'm not a genius like Albert Einstein or Nikola Tesla. I wish I was a genius like Albert Einstein or Nikola Tesla, but I'm not. And I think it's great that magazines write articles for in layman's terms for everyone, so that you don't have to be a scientist to understand the articles. That being said, you know, never judge a book by its cover because anyone really could be a scientist. You never know. And actually, just because someone's in a lab coat, that doesn't make them a scientist. And just because maybe someone wears jeans and a biker jacket doesn't mean they're not a scientist. Like, there could be a brilliant scientist who wears biker helmets and biker jackets and jeans, and then there could be people who wear lab coats and they have no idea what they're doing. And that would actually be a really interesting Saturday Night Live sketch. If on Saturday Night Live, if they did a sketch where it's like there was all of these people in lab coats who had no idea what they were doing in science, and then suddenly this biker gang comes around, and it's like they're well, maybe not a biker gang, but a group of bikers, right? and they're wearing biker jackets and biker helmets and then biker jeans, and they know more science than the actual people wearing the lab coats. So it's kind of like a don't judge by a book by its cover. It's like a don't judge by a book by its cover kind of funny sketch, you know? Because it's true, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Well, sometimes you should judge a book by its cover. I mean, if the gang is wearing a jacket that says Hell's Angels, if the biker gang is wearing a jacket that says Hell's Angels, then maybe sometimes you should judge a book by its cover, but not always. There's a time and a place, you know? You have to use kind of sometimes common sense, which not everyone has, or maybe people forget. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back a bit more. So let's find an article and I'm going to read it. And then if you did turn on subtitles, if you're a Russian person who's studying English and you're using this video as an advanced video for English learners, then we'll find a nice interesting article to read. And then it'll be translated via YouTube. And then you could turn on the subtitles and you could see what it says and then compare it to what maybe if you kind of did any kind of, what's that? If you did any kind of translation yourself to try to figure out what was being said. Okay, this is a great article. Let's read this one. And I probably won't read the full article. I'm just going to read the first part because it's already, the videos are gone long enough and I want to wrap up the video soon. And it's a big article, so I'll just read this part. So it says, staying fit at any age, eating right can help keep you looking great. Then it says, being a trainer, bodybuilder, and nutrition expert means that companies frequently send me their products and ask for my stamp of approval. Most of the time, I dive into research, test the product out, and send the company honest feedback. Sometimes the camera shakes a bit. Sometimes, however, I refuse to give the product a try because, frankly, the ingredients inside aren't real food, and I'd rather drink diesel fuel than torture my body with a chemical concoction. So, and it says, like my father always said, what you put inside your body always shows up on the outside. One protein shake that I received that will remain nameless was touted as the next big shake, but really had a list of gut-destroying ingredients. Everywhere I read, I saw harmful artificial ingredients, added sugars, synthetic dyes, preservatives, and cheap proteins. The kind of proteins that keep you fat no matter how hard you hit the gym, sap your energy, and do nothing for your muscles. Disappointed after reviewing this new shake, I hit the gym and bumped into my favorite bodybuilding coach. This guy is pushing 50, has the energy of a college kid, and is ripped. So are his clients. While I firmly believe that the gym is a no-talk focused zone, I had to ask, hey Z, what protein shake are you recommending to your clients these days? Then Z looked at me and shook his head. Protein shakes are old news and loaded with junk. I don't recommend protein shakes. I tell my clients to drink Invigor8 superfood shake because it's the only all-natural meal replacement that works and has a taste so good that it's addicting. Being skeptical of what Z told me, I decided to investigate the superfood shake called Invigor8. Let me read that again. Being skeptical of what Z told me, I decided to investigate the superfood shake called Invigor8. So, I think that's a good place to stop. And I hope if you're watching this, that you turned on the subtitles. If you're Russian or whichever language, if you're also maybe German, studying English and using this as an advanced English video, everyone please turn on the subtitles. And yeah. And this is a great magazine. It's great. I love looking at magazines. It's fun and it's informative and it's entertaining. It's like kind of the best of both worlds. Informative, it's entertaining, you learn, it's educational, and I also like watching football, American football, and yeah, really interesting. I wonder actually now that I think about it, I had wonder about the Super Bowl for next year because I think it would be really interesting at the next year's American football Super Bowl event. Maybe if they had more than just singers as entertainment, like for example, what if they had a magician, right? Have they ever had magicians? Like for example, David Copperfield or other magicians, famous magicians. Have they ever had like famous magicians at Super Bowl events? Well, I think at next year's American football Super Bowl event, be really interesting if they had maybe a magician like it does who does magic tricks, a magician like David Copperfield, for example. Although I don't know if David Copperfield still does magic. I'm not sure if he's still around, David Copperfield, but they could have another magician, for example, an up and coming magician, for example, and that magician could do magic tricks and be like a really cool magician at the next year's American football Super Bowl event. They could have what about a runway show? What about a runway fashion show as part of next year's American football Super Bowl event? And then, oh yeah, and you know what? If they had a fashion show at next year's American football Super Bowl event, then imagine if they have all of the female models and then at the very end they send out like a male model who's also a football player. Like they could have like a football player who's also right, and then he could go on on the stage right with the female, with like the 20 female models on the, like it could they could actually have Victoria's Secret fashion show. They could have that. They could have those models at next year's American football Super Bowl event, and they could have like a mini fashion show as part of the Super Bowl event. That would be interesting. Or like I said, they could have magicians. They could have magicians. They could have what about a guitarist? Like really good instruments. They could have jugglers, stuff like that. So I just think it would be cool to have different stuff. A painter would be really cool, especially then that painter, those artists, they could sell their art, right? They could do paintings of football players and and paintings of footballs and paintings of football, and then they could sell that. So I just thought that's a really good idea. And if you're watching this video and you know how to message those people who do the football events, like the Super Bowl, next year's American football Super Bowl event, you should, because I don't know how to message the, I don't know how to send this ideas. I don't know how to send these ideas to next year's American football Super Bowl event. So if you're watching this and you think that's a good idea about having magicians and maybe even a mini fashion show at next year's American football Super Bowl event, you should message the you should message the next year's American football Super Bowl event. Anyways, I hope you like this video, and I will obviously continue reading men's health magazines. I'll continue reading Men's Health. Men's Health is a great magazine. I recommend you read it, and yeah, and thank you for coming to the video. Thank you for joining the live stream. I meant to say. Thank you for joining the live stream. Спасибо. И это всё на сегодня. И до свидания.